Maybe I was a little too literal here, but hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video we are going to be doing the bedtime book tag. Alright, before we get to anything bookish, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below, as well as tell me in the comments, what is a book that made you afraid to go to sleep? Alright, so this is a tag. I was tagged by the wonderful Kirsten at Kirsten's Corner, and I'll put a link to her video in the cards up above. However, this tag was originally created by Books with Kelly, though it does look like she has unlisted her videos, so unfortunately I won't have a link to the video, but I will have a link to her profile in the description down below. Basically, all questions revolve around bedtime, so let's dive right in. First up, what book kept you up all night reading? I think for this one, I'm gonna go with You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle, because I not only stayed up till like 2 a.m. reading this once, but I did that twice. First time I read it and upon reread. This book is lovers to enemies to lovers, and it is so freaking cute. I love watching these two starting to pull these pranks on each other, trying to force the other one to break up with them, but then at the same time it ends up doing the reverse, and it improves their relationship and helps them remember how to have fun together and finally make time for each other. So freaking cute, so funny. I'm not joking. I have so many tabs in this. I'm guessing orange is probably laugh. Yeah, orange is laugh. Look at how many orange there are. There are so many. It's ridiculous. It is over the top rom-com. This has to fit your comedy style. If it doesn't, then you're just gonna find it obnoxious and annoying and probably a little immature. But it works for me. Next question. What book made you scared to go to sleep? I don't know if I necessarily say it made me scared to go to sleep, but it definitely haunted my dreams. Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. Yeah, this is brutal in some moments. It is really rough. However, I was completely invested the entire way through. Anytime I read this, I didn't want to stop, but I do remember after I finished it, I like needed a break from anything dark and scary, because yeah, there's a certain scene in this that will literally always live in my head because it was horrifying, but it's also scary in that way of this definitely has happened, and that's disgusting and terrifying, so probably this one. Next question. What book almost put you to sleep? Probably nothing on my shelves, actually. Let me check my story graph and see what I can find. Okay, I had a really hard time finding something, but I think I'm gonna go with The Little Shop of Found Things by Paula Braxton, which I ended up DNFing. I borrowed this from my SO's mom, and it just wasn't really my style of book. It's like magical realism Outlander knockoff kind of thing, where this woman has the ability to like touch an object and view the history of it, but then she finds this one object she's really drawn to at an antique showing. It like transports her back in time or something. I don't know. The writing style was like very over descriptive. I didn't really care about the main character. I think whenever I DNF'd it, I was just bored. So let's go with that one. Next question. What book had you tossing and turning in anticipation for its new release? Ooh, that's a good question. I think I'm gonna say Electo the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, part of the Locked Tomb series. Fell in love with the Locked Tomb series last year. So good. Very confusing, but Muir's mind is insane, and the level of like cleverness to her writing is fantastic. I can't wait for this next book. It continuously keeps getting pushed back. I don't even think we have a cover yet. It was supposed to be released in 2023, and then once I read the series, it got pushed to 2024. Last I heard, we're looking at probably 2025, and I can't wait for this. I want it so badly. But at the same time, it's probably a good thing, because the further away it is, the more time I have to reread the series. So I'll be prepared for everything to wrap up. I'm so excited for it though. I can't wait. Next question. What book has your dream significant other? I'm gonna be corny. I'm gonna go with Beach Read, because Gus is very similar to my own boyfriend. Actually, I could also say Beck from For You and No One Else. These heroes are scarily similar to Josh. Personality, 100% for Gus. Personality, interests, job, hobbies, Beck. But yeah, I'll be corny and go with one of these two because they're just like my own boyfriend. Next question. What book would be a nightmare to live in? Oh God, a lot. Let's be real here. The first one that immediately came to mind though, The World of Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White, because dystopian society, kind of zombies, but also zombies that can become these giant, disgusting monsters. Then there's like a religious cult going on that kills everybody and also is trying to ensure that this zombification thing continues and that it continues on their terms. Horrifying. No thank you. Don't, like, I mean, any zombie story, but this one especially, no, I'm good. Next question. What book reminds you of nighttime? I guess I'm gonna go with The Death I Gave Him by MX Liu, because the events of this book unfold in a single night. Maybe I was a little too literal here, but that's what came to mind when I looked at my shelves, so I'm going with it. Next question. What book has a nightmarish cliffhanger? It took me a second, but I know what I'm gonna go with. 9 Lives by Maureen Johnson, which I have since unhauled because I hated how this book closed out. I didn't really like a lot of this book, honestly. But the cliffhanger this ends on is so stupid and just expands on my least favorite part of this book. It's so irritating. And this is what the author chose to focus on to try and pull you back in for the next one. Like, no, that's not what I want. These are mystery books. If you're gonna do a sort of cliffhanger thing, you should do something around like the mystery. I mean, the first 3 books in the series are a consecutive mystery with like little ones mixed in. These last 2 have been standalone mysteries, which is cool. I really like that. Don't try and make me come back with something dumb like that. That's the kind of nightmare it gives me. A frustrating one. Next question. What book have you actually dreamed about? Ooh. The closest thing I can think of is The Wolf and the Woodsman hits on like every single trope and thing I love together in a fantasy story. This fulfilled a dream I didn't know I had. I don't know if I've actually ever really like dreamed about a specific book. That's a really good question. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one as a placeholder, but if I could think of anything, if anything comes to mind before this video gets posted, I'll have it editing that, put that in. Final question. What fictional monster would you not like hiding under your bed? Okay, for this one, I'm gonna go with Jormungandr. I think that's how you pronounce his name. The snake monster that is a child of Loki and Angrboda's. Listen, I know in this story he's presented like a child and in a very favorable light because you're seeing through Angrboda's eyes and this is her son. But I don't do snakes, let alone a giant snake, a snake big enough to, you know, surround the world, which obviously probably would not fit under my bed. Nah, no thank you. And that's it for the questions, but of course this is a tag, so I do have to tag a few people. And I think I'm gonna go with Randy Lynn, Marley, a type 1 reader, and then Becca at the Becca Fowl. All 3 of those wonderful ladies will be linked in the description down below. Highly recommend giving all of them a follow. But that's it for today, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave me the bed emoji in the comments down below. I have all my socials as well as a few ways you can support me, linked to the description. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye!